Welcome back to another video. In this video, we will be going through comparisons in JavaScript. So now, in JavaScript, this is true. 5 is equal to the string 5. But then, if we add another equal to, and we run the program, this is false. Now why is it so that removing or adding this equal to sign changes the output that we get from the comparison? This is what we're going to be focusing on for this video. Okay, now it is the same values but different results. So now here's why. So first of all, what are comparisons? Comparisons check whether two values relate to each other. And let me show you some basic operators that we have from them. So I'm just going to put it over here. So you have the greater you have the greater than, the lesser than, the greater than equal to, the lesser than equal to, the equal to. You have this one, the triple equal to, this one, and this one. So we will be going through all of these for this video. The first 4 are pretty simple. So if 5 is greater than 3, let us run this. So let's run this. 5 is greater than 3, so it will show true. We do the other way around. It is supposed to show false because 3 is not greater than 5. So you can see it's written 5 is lesser than 3, but then 5 is actually not lesser than 3, so it returns false. Then after that we have lesser than equal to. What this basically does is check if the number is lesser than or equal to this one over here. It will show false. But then if we put greater than equal to, it will show true, because obviously the number is greater than or equal to over here. Now we have gotten to the main part of this video, the double equal to and the triple equal to. Now I just brushed over these pretty quickly because it is straightforward. It checks if a number is greater than, lesser than, greater than equal to, or lesser than equal to. But these two have different type of comparisons. So the first one is called a loose equality. This 2 equal to 1 over here. And what it basically does is, obviously, it checks if both of them are the same. As you can see over here, both of these are the same. But what it actually does is that it converts the types automatically. So over here, I have these 4 examples. So let's run our program, and you can see that it shows true for all of them. This is because this is straightforward because 1 is equal to 1. But then over here it says true because it automatically converted the types. So it automatically converted the types and said, okay, this one, if we convert this into an integer, it is also a 1. So it shows true. And then it does the same thing over here and the same thing over here. So that is what loose equality does. So now, when you're making a program, I would recommend that you do not use this loose equality, because let's say you want to actually use a strict equality version, and then this can also break your program down. So it has its benefits, but it also has its disadvantages. Okay, now we have the strict equality. So now what the strict equality is basically another equal to. Now the loose equality only checked for the value. So it used to automatically convert the type and only check for the value. But now the strict equality operator, the triple equals to sign, checks for both the value and the type equality. So, if the type is not the same, it will show false. So the same thing, I run the program. You can now see that it only shows true over here because the integer one has the same value and the type as this integer one. But this integer one does not have, it has the same value, but it does not have the same type. So it will show false. Now, most professionals usually use this triple equal to, like most people usually use this triple equal to, because it's more predictable, it has cleaner logic, and it can cause fewer bugs. While this one, let's say you just do this, it can show true, which can sometimes break your program. Now, I have already gone through the other comparison operators, and one thing that you should know about comparisons is that they almost always return a Boolean. So in the last video, I went through that the Boolean is a true or false. So a comparison will always return a Boolean. Now, let's go to some weird JavaScript moments. Okay. So let's put console.log nan is equal to nan. Now, you might be saying, okay, these two are the same thing. So hence, it should be showing true, right? Let's run this. Now, it says false. Now, this is because nan starts for not a number. So nan is not a number, right? So because this is not equal to anything, if something is not equal to anything, how can it be equal to itself? It's kind of like a confusing thing. Nan is basically actually nothing. It is not anything. So if it is not anything, it cannot be itself. So you have to kind of go through over here. There's also like a whole history for this that you can go to Google and check it out. But then this is like some weird section. But then also there are some more, like let's see, console.log null is equal to undefined. So then there is one, so let's check this out over here. Okay, now this will also say false, and it's the same thing, so null cannot be undefined and etc. because these two aren't the same type. Okay, so now what can we know from this? So loose equality just guesses the types and strict equality doesn't. So let's say you want predictable code that you can predict and actually use in a program, use the triple equal to. But like the person might give a string or something, and then you want to convert it into an integer and then do a comparison, then you can use the loose equal to. But right now I would recommend to use the strict equal to, because it is more predictable, and it can give lesser bugs, and it has cleaner logic. So this was the basics of comparisons in JavaScript. I hope you liked this video, and see you in the next video of JavaScript basics. Thank you.